More than 250 students crossed the stage and received their diploma Saturday as Rockford University celebrated its 172nd commencement ceremony. WIFR's Miriam Niesmeyer learned how for many graduates, the day represented years of sacrifice, perseverance, and new beginnings.
The days go slow, but the years go fast.
A message to the 2026 graduating class.
Stay open, even when it's inconvenient, even when it makes you vulnerable.
Hundreds of graduates crossed the stage Saturday morning at Rockford University's 172nd commencement ceremony.
It is such an honor to celebrate all their achievements and all that they've had to overcome.
University leaders say this year's graduating class includes students from all different backgrounds, including first-generation, international, and non-traditional college students.
Just being witness to all the hard work and effort that they put into their education and the way they immerse themselves in our college community, it's really great to be able to celebrate all of that with them today.
For 32-year-old Alejandra Ramirez, she is a first-generation college student from an immigrant family.
My parents have sacrificed so much for me since they were young, coming to America early in their teens and just realizing that anything is possible.
Ramirez says walking across the stage meant becoming a role model for her children and honoring her family's journey.
It's a new chapter, a new beginning, and hopefully a lot more generation of graduates.
Ramirez graduated with her bachelor's degree in human development with a focus on children and adolescents.
Don't hesitate to go back. It's never too late.
Leaders say this year's commencement speaker, Dr. Christopher Tomalovich, reflected on the journey of many students as an immigrant himself who built a successful career and life in America.
They took a chance to come here to get their education from another country, to see somebody who's our guest speaker kind of emulate what his journey was like and how he made it. They could maybe picture themselves following the same path and making it here in America after they receive their education.
In Rockford, Miriam Niesmeyer, WIFR News.
Ramirez says she hopes to work as a family support specialist and advocate for children in the future.